Hi guys, it's me, Menu Guide. We're in my kitchen today. I'm going to be cooking the final Novice recipes in the RuneScape Official Cookbook tonight. I'm looking forward to it and I think we're gonna have a good time. The recipes that I'm gonna be making tonight are yellow spicy stew, Ugthanki kebabs, and veggie mush. We're gonna be starting something a little more difficult. We are going to be making an intermediate recipe, Gumbo. Without further ado, let's start cooking. So 1 tablespoon of oil. Now I've never cooked in a cast iron, so that's gonna be new for me. And just kind of get it warm over medium heat. I'm going to cook my sausage in this. That way I can show you the packaging that this andouille sausage came in.
Andouille.
And I've never made gumbo. I've never even had gumbo. This isn't how normal people should be cutting a sausage, I think. I just find it easier to cut directly into the pan. And this is supposed to have shrimp in it, but I've cooked shrimp once and that was enough for me. Oh man, oh man, oh man, there's legs going everywhere. I am traumatized from ever cooking shrimp again. So I found out that a viable substitute for shrimp in terms of savoriness is shiitake mushrooms. I can't guarantee the house isn't going to burn down today. I'm just christening this brand new cast iron Dutch oven with, since this is a half batch, it's half a pound of sausage, not a full pound. Skibbity spatula here. Just gonna let this get cooked until it browns. So I'm gonna take that out and put it into a bowl for now. That did sputter up on me a little bit, but I'm a fighter. So this is an interesting roux. We take a half cup of oil and a half cup of flour, and this gets stirred for 35 minutes. Stirring constantly, it makes for really great stream content, I am sure. It's starting to bubble. That might mean the temperature is just a little too high. Just 1 slice and then back to stirring. And just peeling it and then coming back to give this a stir. This is definitely a very stressful process. So these are supposed to get finely chopped. Blonde roux. And it's going to turn into a brown roux because I'm letting it get darker and look like chocolate milk later. Yeah, so it's going to start turning darker. Not doing a great job at chopping these onions. I'm doing my best. I'm not a southerner. I'm not used to cooking with this type of, patience. This is definitely testing my patience. And this is the longest it has ever taken me to cut an onion. I think this is pretty impressive. I've been at it since 11 a.m. I did a pretty good job of prepping all my veggies. I also maybe spent a little bit of time carving one of my turnips instead of preparing it. If I didn't, how else would I be able to show you guys Turnipula? He's an evil turnip, just like in RuneScape. Do you guys want to see an okra? This is what an okra looks like. Outside of the Wuxshanko Isles, where would I find gumbo? Just Louisiana. I'm just worried it's getting too hot because it's starting to smoke. I'm getting scared. There's like some clumps in it now, and I'm just gonna focus on stirring this. I really don't want it to be roux and get it? I'm a competent cook, and you can learn a thing or two from me, such as what not to do when making a roux, and set this aside. So now I'm gonna add in the onion, bell pepper, celery. Right, and next goes the onion. Half an onion for this half batch. A full batch would use an entire onion. I'm gonna stir it in. So I'm gonna just turn that to like a very low heat while I grab the prepared okra. So this is 4 ounces, and this all gets stirred up. Just keep stirring this. And I'm gonna add 2.5 stalks of celery. And I wanna get the celery in kind of quick because celery takes a minute to soften up. But I do need to hurry up and get these 3 pieces of garlic in there. And I think this garlic is looking pretty good so far. And I'm gonna add a very small amount of cayenne pepper. 1/8 of a teaspoon, because this is a half recipe. This is Louisiana. We gotta add a little bit of Tony's. So just a very small amount of cayenne pepper. So just pick it up, and my hands are definitely going to smell like garlic if they didn't already. Okay. I don't know how much salt is too much. Salt it like the Dead Sea. Stirring this up. And that's going to be 3/4 cup. 1.5 cups if you are making a full batch. And this doesn't seem like it's going to be very liquidy. You don't think I should use 3/4 of a cup. You think I should use the whole box. Okay. How about we compromise and I add a little bit more. Now I'm going to add my shrimp substitute, which is shiitake mushrooms. And these have some moisture in them still. I didn't cook all the moisture out. And also, the elite ingredient for this is smashed rum berries. And I didn't know rum berries were real. I thought they were just a RuneScape thing. 1/2 pint for this half recipe here. And I'm just gonna let that all mix in. And I believe the difference between Cajun and Creole gumbo is the presence of rum berries. We're not going to save any room for Pepsi, I guess. Pepsi schmepsi. It needs some soul. Soul runes going in here. It's a southern dish. It needs Coke. All right. Guys, it's flour. I was just smelling my flour to see how it smells. Just a cap full of orange crush. We'll add a little cap full of Pepsi as well. No one likes their gumbo uncarbonated. So I'm going to turn the heat up to medium-high for now. And we're going to let that boil for 45 minutes. Now, I can't believe they only say a 3/4 cup. I've added so much more than that. But for now, I'm going to be just making the Ugthanki kebab. I'm doing 1/2 and 1/2 with meat and falafel for the other half. And this is kind of fun. You break it apart with this. This is like adult meat Play-Doh. So to this, so shallot. And this is just going to get cut pretty finely. You know, I could probably mash the falafel up with some shallot. I am currently making Ugthanki kebabs. Thank you so much for stopping in. So I'm just going to rip some cilantro into the bowl. Mix it in. I'm just going to wing it. I mean, I'm still not a great chef, but I feel comfortable enough to just wing it with the spices, so that's a good thing. My confidence have grown, but my cooking skills is still turnipula. You should add about 1 teaspoon of ground coriander for a pound of ground beef, so I'm going to do what looks like 1/2 teaspoon. And same with the ground cumin. I'd say that's about 1/2 teaspoon. You probably could use garlic powder if you wanted, but you guys know me. I do everything by the book. And that's just gonna, look at that. Oh, I love this meat Play-Doh. Oh, this is so fun. I'm gonna recommend this recipe to everyone at home just for this step right here. But I'm just gonna roll these into little sausage log type of things. All right. So it's definitely looking moist. I've got this garlic flavored olive oil that I'm going to put in the pan. Just a little splash of it. I'll set that on kind of a medium heat. I was planning on grilling these. I'm going to take some falafel, some shallot, some cilantro, and some seasonings. And I'm going to mix these all up. And don't forget the Pepsi marinade. Supposed to be cooked on a grill, so I mean, it's not on a grill either. It's starting to cook. We're getting there. I'm also not using lamb meat, particularly Gielinorian recipes. Call for your Ugthanki kebabs to be made with plenty of PFAs. That's how you get 99 constitution. This is less fun. It's not as moist. I'm so weak. I'm trying to like one-handed squeeze this. There we go. Pepsi. Because as we all know, every recipe in RuneScape is secretly made using Pepsi. It's just in everything, so they don't even tell you you need it. It's basically on the tool belt. And you are supposed to make this kebab recipe with red hot sauce, which I've already made. I'm just going to use Frank's. And I'm going to take my little falafel kebab, and I'm just going to cook that in the oil here for a couple minutes, even until it looks tasty. While that's going, I'm going to work on the harissa yogurt. That starts with some Greek yogurt, 1/2 cup of plain Greek yogurt, and 1 tablespoon of hot sauce and the juice of 1 lemon. I'm going to use what looks to be an appropriate amount of Frank's. Just kind of flip it a little. So I'm just going to squirt a little bit of lemon in here. Doesn't look great, but I'm sure it's fine. All right, I'm gonna set that aside and we will serve with the sauce, but we don't need it right now. But we're just gonna keep cooking them. I'm gonna take the skewers off now, just so that the heat can permeate the inside. So the outside might get a little bit burnt. You can avoid that by making smaller, thinner logs. I'm gonna like balance it on my fork. Get that. So that timer, guys, was the gumbo timer. And then I'm gonna add some sausage to what's left. See, I'm not the type of person that's gonna cook this entire thing and then cook rice. So I've got microwave rice right here. I'm still seeing a lot of red. I'm just cutting these in half so that the cross sections can get cooked. Okay. That's just the timer telling me my rice is rice-a-roni. Rice already. Our gumbo gets served in a tortoise shell. So yes, I did buy brand new bowls. Scoop a little bit on here. Now, doesn't this actually look kind of good? And let's see how our gumbo tastes. That is unlike anything I've ever tried before. I can say that much. It's good though. It's actually good. And then to this, I'm gonna add the sausage, and this is gonna cook for 7 minutes. I'm gonna say these are done. We've got our Ugthanki meat. The RuneScape Official Cookbook does come with a recipe to make your own pita bread, whatever you call it in your country. I wasn't gonna do that all at once. So just like the microwave rice, this is store-bought pita. Shredded iceberg lettuce. But I'm gonna load the lettuce in the bottom and then put the meat in the top. Kind of in there like that. Okay, topping it with a little bit of yogurt. This is an Ugthanki kebab. You guys might see my cat.
Cat in the gumbo.
I sure hope there's not a cat in the gumbo. Now, the elite ingredient for this Ugthanki kebab is an allotment grown onion and tomato. More than I dislike raw onion, I like being elite. I will add this much onion. This is basically the dessert of the meal. I try to make balanced meals, but it's hard because when you're going in alphabetical order, you might get 3 soupy things in a single meal, as is happening today. So we've got spicy stew and veggie mush still to make, but let me just top this with some yogurt. This is the vegetarian version, and it is made elite with some allotment grown veggies on there. And it's good. That's actually phenomenal. To me, it's really hot, but it's not bad. We are cooking bangers. In just a minute, we're going to be doing some mash, or rather some mush. And we can work on making our next recipe. Yellow spicy stew to start. My cat, she went into Evil Dave's basement and she got us some yellow spice. I'm going to scoop a layer of coconut fat from both cans of coconut milk. The best we're going to get is that I can peel the label off. I don't know if I'm doing it right. Yes, because underneath this, it's like almost a clear color. There's a good layer of fat on this. This will be our little vegetarian version. That's pretty good, I'd say. You're going to take yellow curry paste. You can find this in the Asian aisle of your local grocery store. You're going to mix your curry paste into the coconut milk. It's going to cook until it starts to bubble, and then it cooks for 3 minutes. So I'm turning the stove on right now to a medium heat and just mix the curry paste into the coconut milk. So this chicken is going to be cut into bite-sized chunks, and I just got boneless and skinless chicken breast. I don't like touching this as much as I liked touching ground beef. And I'm using 1 pound of chicken breast and 1 pound of tofu. If you're just doing chicken, you can do 2 pounds of chicken. I can hear it start to bubble. To that, I'm going to add the onions. This is 2 whole onions. They're supposed to be sliced, but I don't like the texture of onions in my food, so we finally chopped these. These are yellow or brown onions. And so that's just gonna cook until the onions are soft, so for about 3 to 5 minutes. And I add 4 Yukon Gold potatoes. Chop these into bite-sized chunks. All right, and this is the last potato. Some of these bites are bigger than others. Let's just put it that way. We're gonna add the coconut milk now, the rest of it. Give it a good stir. That's gonna cook for 20 minutes after it's boiling. I'm gonna add the elite ingredient now to each of these. The elite ingredient for this curry is a pinch of smelling salts. I am smelling my salt and I'm adding a pinch. 10 to 15 minutes more. You also can add optional ingredients, Thai bird's eye chilies, fish sauce, and kosher salt. Let's turn that to a lower simmer and to a lower simmer. While that's boiling, we're gonna work on our last recipe. We're gonna start that veggie mush. Cabbage. All right, so you have to core this cabbage. I have no clue what that means. And it's kind of like the earth inside here. Look at all these layers. This is confusing. Yeah, I'm just gonna cut the stemmy part out. And I'm just gonna fill this up with water from my sink. I don't know how much water, but I put about that much in. But I'm gonna add just a little to the curry in the front as well. So this is essentially mashed potatoes, cabbage, and turnips. This is technically it's like a Colcannon, as they call it, which is kind of like a dwarven cannon, but cabbagier. Okay, I'm heavily salting that water, as I am supposed to. I have some very sad news about our friend Turnipula. It is his time to sit here and watch me cut up some more veggies. But these are 2.5 pounds of russet potatoes. These don't need to be super finely bite-sized. It is time for our evil turnip familiar to meet his end. I'm so sad to be doing this. I've grown emotionally attached to a turnip. If this doesn't taste good, Turnipula died for nothing. Man, this is hard. No, I'm not saying it's hard just because Turnipula is my friend. This little knife works way better. I believe Colcannon is a British dish. And veggie mush is very much a Gielinor dish. We're gonna pop on over here. Ready to add some chicken. And the other one, I'm going to add my tofu. Alexa, set a timer for 10 minutes.
10 minutes, starting now.
I'm just going to add a little bit more of yellow spice to this. And this is hopefully going to help our agility levels. I'm just going to add my tofu. And this needs to get fully coated and mixed up so that the chicken will absorb those delicious flavors. And I need a bay leaf, some thyme, and some rosemary. And it does call for fresh thyme and rosemary. 4 sprigs of each. I'm sure it's fine. We'll just throw both of them in there. 1, 2, 3, 4 sprigs of thyme. That's kind of a broken bay leaf, so I'm going to put 1.5 in there. Oh. Whoa. Ah. Alexa, set a timer for 25 minutes for boiling. Hi guys, it's me, Menu Guide. I just felt like changing outfits. I'm gonna be making a short green guy. He may not be tall, dark, and handsome, but he's short, green, and at least he's a guy. This is the RuneScape version of a Midori sour. Super simple recipe here. We've got our ingredients kind of here. So it's gonna be 1.5 ounces of lime juice. And 1.5 ounces of lemon juice, 1/2 ounce of vodka, 1.5 shot glasses of Midori. And this just gets shaken up. What you would typically do is have your glasses full of ice as well. They would be Colin's glasses. Now, these are Menu's glasses because my name is not Colin. This makes enough for 1 cocktail, but I figured my glasses are pretty small. I'm genuinely not sure the difference of club soda, tonic water, and sparkling seltzer water. Typically, the Midori sour is topped with a maraschino cherry. The cookbook advises you can use both a maraschino cherry and a lime slice if you're feeling adventurous. Perfect, kind of. And the elite ingredient for this is more equa leaves. And I'm just gonna top this with some more equa leaves as well. 5-minute recipe. But let's give it a taste and see how it is. It's sour. You can taste a little bit of the Midori. Can't taste that vodka at all. There is only 1/2 ounce in here. This is dangerously good. So far, this is one of my favorite alcoholic RuneScape cocktails. And I'm not one for alcohol, but this is pretty good. Thanks for watching. I mean, continue watching. And my timer did go off. So that means that the chicken should probably be done. It doesn't look like it's done yet. I think it might be a little longer than 5 minutes because there's still like a lot of pink in here. So mine, I think, is probably pretty much done. I don't have to worry about that chicken. I cooked my tofu ahead of time. This is an avocado masher, but I'm going to be mashing everything with this. All right, and of course, if I've got it, I've got to add it. My dream is someday my Mark will come to me and say, menu guide. Wow, you've cooked every single novice recipe in this cookbook. The cabbage leaves you can see are starting to get a little bit more translucent. The rosemary though, it's coming off the stem. And this is still not fully cooked though, guys. Yeah, some of this chicken is looking okay, but some of it really looks quite raw still. It's definitely not as appetizing with only half a thing of rice in there. I don't know if I'm gonna like it or not. Okay, the potato is cooked all the way through. I was a little nervous about that. Oh, it's spicy. I'm used to eating restaurant quality curry. This isn't that. It just feels like it's missing something. Yes, this is done. Scoop a little of this into the bowl. And this is yellow spicy stew. It's time that we resume this recipe. We have to test that these are fully cooked. And oh, look at that. The fact that they pierce perfectly like that means they are done. And this gets drained. Now I'm just draining it into the sink right now in my colander. Oh, I was supposed to add butter and cream to a pot and melt butter. And then in the meantime, I'm going to use that itty bitty little tiny thing in the middle. 8 tablespoons of unsalted butter. Half a cup of heavy cream. There is, so I didn't really need to buy more heavy cream, but the fact that I did is okay. Turn that on a low heat, just enough to melt this butter. You could probably melt the butter in the microwave if you wanted to get it done quicker and just add it to the cream. Let me eat some boiled cabbage. That one really burnt for some reason. This is 99% melted. And I think we just mash it now, right? Well, I didn't need to add it all at once. That was a me mistake. It's okay. You want it to be somewhat lumpy still. Taking out the biggest pieces of the rosemary. And of course, we have to add the elite ingredient and a little bit of salt and pepper. That might be too much. I hope not. You don't really need a lot of pepper. Yeah, I was light on the cabbage. You don't taste it too bad though. Honestly, it just tastes like seasoned mashed potatoes. I don't know if anything can compare to original mashed potatoes, but you've got rosemary, you've got thyme, you've got all the, butters and stuff like that. Pretty tasty. The elite ingredient for this is 3 tablespoons of enriched fungal algae. I can't say that I like the elite ingredient in combination with this. Pour our Pepsi gravy in the middle. I can't say that this will taste better than fungal algae, but probably won't taste worse. No, I think it's better. Today we made some really great recipes. We made yellow spicy stew. We made arc gumbo. We made Ugthanki kebabs. Yum. And we made Veggie Mush. Fantastic 4 recipes from the RuneScape Official Cookbook. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I think I would recommend all 4 of these. If I can make these, you sure as hell can. So I hope to see you next time.